Welcome back to the Lake Shawnee Sports Complex in Topeka, Kansas. Game 2 and day number 2 in our continuing coverage of the NJCAA Region 6 Division II softball tournament here on the JCCC Athletics YouTube page. Glad everyone come back with us. Dylan Funk alongside Brendan Bolin and Dennis Drennan. Dennis will be joining us in just a moment. If you just missed out on game 1 here on the day between Kansas City, Kansas and Cowley College, the Blue Devils ousting the Tigers 6-2. So the Blue Devils are on to the Constellation semifinals, and they're going to be paying close attention to this game here because they're going to take on the winner between Johnson County and Allen. And for the Cavaliers, that's where we'll start. Here on the backside, not ideal for where you want as the 1 seed coming in. They played with fire against Highland. It was a big late inning effort for them to come from behind and win that one. Came up short in the next game in the second round against Fort Scott. That bounced them out over here 9-6. So the Cavaliers, the 1 seed on the brink of elimination, backs against the wall, and they're going to have a tough outing against the Red Devils coming up here.
It is an unfortunate, they gave up the walk-off home run late in the game there. But Johnson County, I felt like in game number 1, like you said, they certainly played with fire there. They went through 3 of their 4 pitchers in game number 1 alone. But now today, here on the backside of the bracket, like you said, not where they're usually supposed to be or normally where people predicted they would be. It's going to be a battle here as they take on a really good Allen team.
Getting a little bit caught up here, but we're caught up to speed. Yeah, for Allen, looking at the Red Devils coming into this tournament, opening round against Cowley. They dropped that game, dropped them back here. They beat Labette, so sending the Cardinals home in the Constellation. So now they run into the Buzzsaw in Johnson County, see if they can pull off the potential upset and send the number 1 seed home packing. And we'll see. For the Cavaliers, Dennis, when we were here yesterday, the Cavaliers burned through a lot of their starting pitching. We saw Jalen Lavers get a start. She didn't even make it out of 1 inning. Maggie McNally pitched pretty much the entire game against Highland and against Fort Scott. So it's going to be looking like potentially a Mariah Umverzak game, and that could be pretty good for the Cavaliers as she's been pretty solid for them all year long.
Not only that, but she came in for a stint in that first game too and did a nice job for them. So, yeah, Mariah Umverzak can if she can get it done, that'll be great.
Well, she could, but they're actually going to go to Kaylin Conrad. She's going to get the start. We're just getting the score, the starting lineups up here. We're getting ready to get this game rolling along in just a few moments. So it's been a little bit since we've called a Kaylin Conrad start, but again, she does have the capabilities to overpower hitters sometimes, can also just play with the off-speed pitches, let the defense play behind her. Still a solid outing for the Cavaliers here in game 2 as they look to punch their ticket to take on crosstown rivals Kansas City, Kansas in the Constellation semifinals. As we're just a matter of moments away here, we'll step aside. We'll have starting lineups coming up next. transition there, Brendan. Got to give that one to you. Is having our coaches meeting at home plate. We'll get our starting lineups here in just a matter of moments. Our PA announcer, Reed McAvoy, will deliver those to us, and we'll get going here in Game 2 of 4 that we're covering here. Day 2 of the 2024 NJCAA Region 6 Divisional II softball tournament. We just saw Kansas City, Kansas advance after defeating Cali by a score of 6-2, and the Blue Devils await the winner of this game right here. And we go back to the front side of the bracket. Coming up next between Fort Scott and Neosho County for a spot in the finals, where the loser will go down to the consolation side.
10 of the NJCAA Region 6 Division II softball tournament between the Allen Red Devils and the Johnson County Cavaliers. First, the starting lineup for Johnson County. Leading off, the left fielder, Taryn Burkhart. Hitting second, the second baseman, Izzy Carter. Hitting third, the shortstop, Jaylee Jefferson. Hitting fifth, the third baseman, Aspen Burgart. Hitting sixth, the center fielder, Eve Morris. Hitting next, the first baseman, Kate Ediger. Next, the designated player, Deja Gardenhauer. Catcher number 9, Ryan Pinkerton. And right fielder, Gracie Ramsey. Starting pitcher is number 12, Kaylin Conrad. Johnson County is coached by head coach Aubrey Bratton-Volkins and assistant coaches Katie Williams and Matt Jackson. Now for the Allen Red Devils. Leading off, number 21, the shortstop, Brooklyn Goring. Hitting second and pitching, Bailey Campbell. The center fielder, Haley Gerberding. First baseman, Jenna Hendricks. The third baseman, Madison Havenstein. Hitting sixth, the designated player, Cameron Yardley. Hitting seventh, the catcher, Ashley Tribble. Hitting eighth, the first baseman, Paxton Meyer. And hitting ninth, Tyler Smith. Starting left fielder is Morgan Collins. Allen County is coached by Nicole Peters and Mackie Chandler.
Now ready to get this one started between the Red Devils and the Cavaliers. Another time meeting up between these two. Cavaliers taking both games in the regular season back in late March, March 28th, a 5-0 and 9-0 win. A pair of shutouts for the Cavaliers. We'll see them come up to bat next. Taryn Burkhart, Izzy Carter, and Jaylee Jefferson will lead it off. And in the cleanup spot, Aspen Burkhart, the third baseman, if any of them are able to get on.
Yeah, we still have that wind blowing in out of the northwest at 16 miles an hour. And for those of you back home, it's blowing in almost directly from right field. Now, we did see in the first game several home runs hit to left, but it's going to take a really good hit to get one out of here in right field and right center.
We saw more with the infielders on the right side for the last time. It was Cali and KCK. They're kind of struggling to track balls into that shallow outfield, kind of the infield part too. So it'll be interesting to see how these two teams are able to handle it here.
They're facing against Bailey Campbell. Coming in is a bit, maybe one of what you would call a bullpen game. Not particularly a lot of experience in a starting position. She gets to start here on the brink of elimination game. She starts with the first pitch strike to Taryn Burkhart.
She's going to have to face a dangerous top of the order for the Cavaliers.
No, just gets a piece of that. Funky spin, it'll go foul. Burkhart behind the count, 0-2.
I don't think Taryn really wanted to swing at that, but she's down on the count 0-2. She's got to protect now.
Cavaliers rocking the darker gray uniforms, white font KJCCC across the chest. 0-2 pitch on the way. Burkhart lays off of it for ball one. And Allen County out there, white and black tops with red pants, black socks with white piping. Runner trying to move on to the consolation semis to take on Kansas City, Kansas, as Taryn will suck that one out into left for a leadoff single.
Now batting for Johnson County, the second baseman, number 17, Izzy Carter.
And as we've seen earlier on in the season, Taryn Burkhart definitely a threat to steal the base here. She leads the Cavaliers in stolen bases.
She does just that, one shy of 30. She currently sits at 29 as Carter takes the first pitch strike.
She's active on the base pass, too. Already had a nice jump there.
Arguably probably the fastest player on this Johnson County team. Going away, and you see her, she's getting that nice little lead off. Catcher keeping a close eye on her.
Taking a long look down there at coach, so we'll see if there's anything on here.
1-1 from Campbell,
Yep,
and a
bunt.
good bunt. Izzy Carter trying to use the speed up the line. She'll get thrown out there, but does advance Burkhart up to second base.
That was a productive out there. Moving the speed up another 60 feet there. I mean, brilliant mind there from Ryan Volkins and staff. You have to give them credit for moving that runner there.
Dangerous hitter at the plate here. Jaylee Jefferson, a lot of pop in that little bat.
Has been feeling it here in this tournament. In the 2 games when the Cavaliers split, adding on 2 home runs, had 4 RBIs in the game, coming up just a little short against Fort Scott.
Just a freshman.
Just a freshman. Did not start playing through organized softball until she was a junior in high school. And lines this one right back at Campbell, who dishes it to second. An unfortunate inning double play for Johnson County, just what the doctor ordered for the Red Devils. So just like that, the Cavaliers turned away in order. Red Devil bats coming up next. Welcome back. Caitlin Conrad going to get the start here for the Cavaliers. First start here at the NJCAA Region 6 tournament. She comes in on the season, a 4.22 ERA, 73 total innings, second on the team, only behind Maggie McNally with an even 98. 52 strikeouts, 20 walks, so with that 1.33.
We saw her, talking to you, Dennis, play in Game 2 against Coffeyville to win the conference title there. I mean, she was a productive pitcher. I mean, she really works the counts well. She, although gave up a couple hits early on, a couple runs, she was still a productive pitcher nevertheless.
Yeah, she's always been really good, but what we need to watch for today is getting ahead of hitters, getting that first pitch strike in there. You don't want to fall behind.
This one chopped up the line up to Edgar, but called foul. No balls, 2 strikes. Well, back in that game against Coffeyville, she did pick up the win on 6 innings. 5 hits, 5 runs coming across. No walks, 8 strikeouts. Did allow 1 home run. Lefty delivers that one out to left, and Taryn Burkhart drops it. I see that happen all too often, as it kind of was.
Well, and
It's
again,
a late movement.
you saw that wind pushing it across her body, and it didn't stick in the webbing.
Just a drop out there and left. Going to be an error.
That definitely has to sting. That was definitely catchable, but like you said, Dennis, that wind has just been monstrous.
We've seen it play havoc all day long.
Now Campbell, the pitcher, puts down a butt. Conrad gets it, tries to throw over, and it's really ricocheted up by Campbell. Ediger had no chance to get to it, able to get it back into play safely.
Yeah, Pinkerton threw it right into the runner that time. And that's easy to do. I mean, typically what happens is you take a look at that runner, and sometimes you just throw the ball where you're looking. I think she's asking if there's possible interference by the runner.
And Coach Aubrey Bratton Volkins definitely wanting umpires to confer, and a ruler safe.
Yeah.
She doesn't like that one bit.
Now batting for the Red Devils, center fielder number 31, Haley Gerberding.
Now Campbell is aboard safely. We go to Gerberding. 214 average, 14 RBIs in the regular season, 4 doubles, 1 home run. Allen looking to bring these runs across, get on top of the Cavaliers early, have them on the ropes. First pitch delivered from Conrad. Doesn't get the zone. It's ball 1. Throw back to second.
I do like that she's keeping it down in the strike zone, though, because you need to induce a ground ball right here if you're Cavaliers. See if they can roll that double play.
Next pitch, another bunt put down. Hits her, but it goes foul.
Brian Pinkerton being very alert there. She wasn't waiting for the foul call. She immediately fired it down to third base.
And we've said it, several times, Dennis. I mean, they're not afraid to throw on the bases.
Oh, no.
The Cavs have some really strong arms.
Ball chance breaking out from the Allen County dugout. Next pitch, this one straight up. Burkhardt charges in from third over to Ediger for out number 1. Again, both runners advance up 60 feet, now both in scoring position.
Next up, the first baseman, number 17, Jenna Hendricks.
That bunt fielded very well by Burkhardt and made a nice throw over to Ediger. Now, if you're at the Cavaliers infield, you get a ground ball. You need to look those runners back and get out at first base.
Chance here for Jenna Hendricks in the cleanup spot. She skies this one out into center. Eve Moore settling in under it.
And
she drops it as well. Throw coming into home plate. She's in safe now. Throw to third. Did Burkhardt get the tag on? That's the question. I mean, out of the base path anyway, so there's out number 2. With 2 errors in the outfield for the Cavaliers, and it's going to cost them a run.
That wind is just a force to be dealt with.
Baseman number 26, Madison Havenstein.
See if the Cavs can get out of this. Allen trying to make this hurt. I think these extra outs hurt. Oh. Ryan Pinkerton almost got hit with a bat. Oh. Sorry about that, fellas.
Breaking pitch above eye level. 2 balls, no strikes.
I can't see my monitor out here in the sunshine.
We still love you, Dennis.
I know. We'll have to find you some shade cover coming up.
Oh, good pitch.
Maybe we can ask to borrow one of those canopies out in the outfield.
Yeah, there you go. Give me an umbrella. Nice day for ball game, though.
Havenstein swings at this one up over the net and out of play into the concourse.
Yeah, if the Cavs can get out of this with just giving up 1 run, they're going to feel pretty fortunate having made 2 errors already.
And 2 errors committed from their 2 most solid outfielders in Eve Morris and Taryn Burkhart.
No question.
Now this one gets by Pinkerton. That's going to allow Hendricks to easily move on up to second.
Conrad with a wild pitch there. If you're Conrad, you just got to concentrate on the hitter here. Don't worry about that runner.
And a 3-2 count with 2 gone, so they're striking an out away from getting out of it.
That's an unfortunate walk. I think you got to settle for a ground ball here, Dennis.
You definitely would like that. Good pitch.
Chance for Cameron Yardley, the designated player. Third game for Allen in this tournament. 288 average, 12 RBIs attached to him for Yardley. Now this one gets away from Pinkerton, and again, both runners will advance up. This bottom half of the first is starting to drag into some pretty dangerous territory here for the Cavaliers.
Oh, we saw this earlier in game 1 they played with Highland.
Now a 3-1 count, Yardley working her.
Red Devils with 2 runners in scoring position here too.
Yardley coming off a 2-for-4 performance in that final game yesterday against Labette. Bringing across an RBI.
You got it, Cam. Let's go!
See if Conrad can make a big pitch here.
3-2. This is swung on. Burkhart will take it over to Ediger. In time, squeezing it into the mitt with both hands. So Cavaliers pretty fortunate.
Yeah, they were.
Only 1 run coming across, but he'll have to come from behind again for the 3rd straight game.
Leading off the inning for the Cavaliers, the 3rd baseman, number 26, Aspen Burkhart.
Aspen Burkhart, Eve Morris, Kate Ediger. 3-2 up for the Cavaliers, down 1-0 to the Allen Red Devils. Dylan Funk alongside Dennis Drennan and Brendan Bolin. Always got to treat Aspen Burkhart with caution. There she comes up to the plate, got off to a slow start in that game against Highland yesterday, was able to bounce back with a double and also had a home run in that 9-6 loss against Fort Scott. Some RBIs attached to those as well. We talked about earlier in the first game for Droege feeling close to home. The pitcher for the Blue Devils just going to Topeka Hayden. Aspen Burkhart also at a Seaman High School here in Topeka. Very familiar with the sports complex. Looking to settle in and make yourself feel at home. 2-0 pitch, taken high upstairs. 3 straight balls to start this at bat.
Complex shared by quite a few teams around the area here. You got Shawnee Heights, branding on most here, Topeka Seaman as well.
I'm sure you got the Hayden Wildcats maybe coming up playing some games over here as well. It's a nice complex all set in the foreground of Lake Shawnee, just directly right behind us. This one's fouled up, and that'll get out of play. So after 3 straight balls, you got Campbell battling back to fill the count up full.
You were talking about this earlier yesterday, Funk. I mean, it would be nice if the backdrop was Lake Shawnee and then it kind of flip-flopped the farther part of the complex is right behind us.
Hard,
Nice.
and that
Hard
will
hit
get
ball.
out into left field.
Good start.
Not too much you can do there. Best hope out there at short was maybe just trying to keep down the infield and keep it from going out. As now Goring or shaking that right hand a little bit. She appears to be okay. It's going to go in as a leadoff single here in the top of the second for Johnson County. That brings in Eve Morris, the center fielder. Looking to make up for that. One of the 2 errors in the outfield. But a potential double play looming, but Morris is going to beat it out up first, but a runner avoided being in scoring position as Burkhardt will come back to the dugout. Now she looked like she was favoring that right hand for a moment as well, but again, I think everything appears to be okay. Maybe I'm just reading too much into it.
Number 15, Kate Edgar.
Thought maybe when she was sliding into the bag, maybe easy way, maybe get the finger jammed or the glove slammed down on it.
Both of these teams are going at 1,000%. You have to. It's a
Win or go home.
win or go home situation again.
For sure.
This is a bat that the Cavaliers really need to get going. Kate Edgar, she's been solid all year.
One of the best hitters, leads at least in total at-bats, a .412 average. One of the 4 Cavaliers batting .400 or more. 41 RBIs, second in the team.
Real nice slugging percentage, too.
And even 800.
Just needs to find a hole.
One pitch, and this one sacked up, and that goes foul as well.
Red Devils battling hard here.
Two from Campbell, high and away. 3 balls, 2 strikes.
We go back to Edgar's phenomenal regular season. I mean, a stud athlete at Paola High School. School I'm very familiar with.
Voice of the
That
Paola
ball
Panthers.
well
This
hit.
one might be going to Paola. See
Yeah.
you later. Takes a bounce on the sidewalk out there. It's right on the concrete. And Dennis, you had talked about getting that bat going. That might be the jump start she
Yep.
was looking for.
Absolutely.
A 2-run shot puts the Cavaliers in front 2-1.
That's going to bring up Deja Gardenhire, and as we talked about earlier on, is she's been feeling much more comfortable at the plate and actually putting together some pretty good at-bats.
Definitely is someone that it's kind of usually in these kind of situations when your team gets into these tournaments, you're looking to make a postseason run. You need that kind of one,
You do.
quote unquote, dark horse on your team that really comes through. And she's been solid all year round. Do not get us wrong. We're not saying that she has come out of nowhere, but
No.
the opportunities that she has been given in the bottom half of the regular season, especially here in this tournament, she has delivered.
Yes, she has.
And she puts contact on this one, but right at the center fielder, barely having to move for it. There's out number 2.
Now batting the catcher, number 2.
You also have to like Gardenhire's versatility. She can pitch really well. She can hit the ball really well. I mean, I feel like any team, you'd be very lucky to have a player like Gardenhire with really good versatility.
Oh, no question about it.
I mean, even in that at bat, it's going to go in the scorebook as a fly out to center, but still
That ball
solid
was
contact on it and right
Yeah.
on the line.
That ball was well hit.
Now to Ryan Pinkerton, has been the primary backstop for the Cavaliers so far here in this tournament. First chance face off against Campbell. Wind really gusting up here now. Might be
Yeah,
getting
it is.
close to 20+ miles per hour before long.
I'm going to check it. It's really picked up.
Finished in. Not only our color commentator, but he can also be a weatherman if we need him to. Talk about a guy that can do it all. He's our Deja Gardenhire. That's
There you
exactly
go.
what he is.
17 miles an hour.
17. Yep. Get close.
We got to get you a show on podcast or something. Or on Spotify.
One just off the plate. 3 balls, 1 strike to Pinkerton. 9 later, Gracie Ramsey, the right fielder, on deck. Thankfully, no cars were damaged in that foul ball.
Just crossing my fingers there.
3-2. Campbell trying to wrap up his top half of the second. And she's not going to do it right there, as Pinkerton will reach on first, and the inning will keep on moving along.
Batting in the 9th spot, number 6, Gracie Ramsey.
Ramsey step in, rocking the rolled up sleeves look. How about also another hitter that's really kind of starting to find her stride in this later half of the season.
She's got some speed too.
And she's definitely not afraid. In some situations, we've seen her put down bunts and use her speed to beat it up the line with 2 outs here. Runner on first. Maybe not, but
I don't think this at bat she's going to be a little more conservative here.
Coach Brent Volkins giving out the signs on the third base line.
Yeah, especially with 2 outs, he's probably swinging away.
Also, as a left-handed hitter, we could see her. She has utilized kind of the slap hit from time to time.
If I'm being honest, if you can hit it like right down the middle maybe. Allen's leaving a nice big gap up the middle and then even kind of towards right center.
Yeah, even more if you can get it on the right side of the second base bag. She'll just take a 4-pitch walk.
Those 2 walks could really hurt the Red Devils, because now you're back to the top of the order with Taryn Burkhart.
Yep.
Taryn Burkhart.
1 for 1 to lead off single in the first.
You really don't want to walk the 8 and 9 hitters to get back to the leadoff.
And this has been one of the strong points for Johnson County this season, has been the ability to come through with timely hitting and scoring with 2 outs in an inning.
Yeah, they've scored a lot of 2-out runs.
Slow roller, right side. Second baseman underhand toss to first in time. So those back-to-back walks will not ensue a further rally, but a 2-run home run from Kate Ediger puts the Cavaliers in front as they lead for the first time here.
Catcher number 30, Ashley Tribble.
Bottom half of the order, 7, 8, 9, and Tribble, Meyer, and Smith who appear for the Red Devils as they are trailing for the first time in this game 2-1, thanks to that 2-run shot from Kate Ediger in the top half of the second inning. Got some brief delay.
Equipment issues there.
It's always the catchers, right?
Got all that stuff they got on.
And you arguably still want a little bit more on you there.
Yeah.
First pitch in the second for Conrad, outside part of the zone for strike 1, in on Tribble.
Nice frame there. Can't ask for a better location there.
It's a good spot.
Conrad ahead in the count here, looking to put her way settle into a groove here, looking for her first scoreless inning, still early. Pitch on the way, right back out the middle, off the glove. It actually goes back to Jefferson. That might have helped them out for out number 1. And how often do you see something like that?
Yeah, I tell you, she's just Kaylee Jefferson is just automatic at shortstop.
Well, it's even better because if that goes truly straight up the middle, and maybe Jaylee's still able to make a play on it, but I think it's more likely it might square down to the outfield, maybe for an infield hit, but it
you're right.
ricochets off the glove of Conrad, more towards Jefferson, so she's able to make that play for out number 1. It's just tough luck again if you're Tribble. Just off the top of the net, foul ball to Meyer.
Did scare me a little bit. I thought that was going to go right over the net.
And right into my face. Of course, you'd probably rather hit my face than this expensive camera.
Well, that's,
I know BJ would.
We always like to say protect yourself first and your well-being and the equipment, but maybe in that case, maybe take one for the team. So that one goes foul as well. Allen continuing to battle here. 21-25 in the regular season, 12-10 record in conference, and the Red Devils were they went on a stretch that closing in on March, the entire month of March, and went 4-14, almost running themselves out of contention for this regional tournament. Able to get it together in the second half as Meyer strikes out swinging. Now 2 gone here in the second. They were able to close out on a 12-8 stretch. That was enough to earn them the 6th seed. They also were able to get some help with some late shifting earlier in the top half of the conference, knocking some teams down and helping them leapfrog up and over. Red Devils here after not qualifying for the tournament last season. Little slap hit. Another underhand toss with the glove.
Wow, what a play.
Beautifully done by Izzy Carter, getting it over in time to Kate Ediger. A nice little web gym moment to wrap it up here in the bottom of the second inning. Red Devils held scoreless. Cavaliers with a 2-1 lead. For Izzy Carter making a nice play to wrap up the bottom of the second. Perfectly fitting. She leads us off here in the top of the third. 2-3-4. Jefferson on deck. Aspen Burkhardt will follow shortly behind there. Cavaliers holding on to a 2-1 lead. Looking to build on it here, and that's just
a wild pitch.
As Harry Doyle might say, just a bit outside. Just a bit upside, maybe. I don't know.
You talk about phenomenal seasons. Well, how about Izzy Carter? She's had a solid year this year for the Cavs.
Battled hard for that everyday starting position over at second. Ground out here. That was kind of one of the question marks coming into the season. Who was going to take over at that second base position? And Coach Bratton Volkins, it started with Emma Smith, and then it was kind of Emma might get one game and a doubleheader, and then the next it'd be Izzy Carter. And Izzy, give her credit, she came through, made the big hits when she needed to make them, and was making the plays in the outfield as well, or the infield as well. Hence what we just saw there in the bottom of the second inning to wrap that up. So she's definitely has come through and has given a lot of great, valuable moments to this Cavalier team. Jefferson hard, over too short, and now there's 2 up, 2 down.
How about the Red Devils getting 2 quick outs with 2 dangerous hitters up, but now you've got a really powerful hitter up now.
Just something that in the game that we covered against Highland, it's what the Scotties did so well is in this part of the lineup, the first when you got to Jefferson, Burgart, Morrison, Ediger, they really kept those Cavalier batters in check as this one's going up the line and drifting foul, and it lands right on the turf. So that's big for Allen after being held scoreless in the bottom half. You come out, you get 2 quick outs, and you bring Burgart to the dish, and nobody on. So even if she's able to get a hold of one and put it over, it's still just a 1-run shot. And looking for the 3 up, 3 down inning. The second would be the second for Campbell as this one's hit to center, drifting back on it, and brings it in on the warning track. And the Cavaliers do go 3 up, 3 down in the third. Still a 2-1 ball game.
Number 21, Brooklyn Goring.
Now we go back to the top of the order for the Red Devils here in the third. Goring, Campbell, and Gerberding. Alan Conrad, third inning of work for the Cavaliers. He gave up that 1 run in the first. It's an unearned run. It was reached via the error out in left field. It was a drop from Taryn Burkhardt, and then she would eventually come around to score again on another drop in the outfield from Eve Moore. So 2 errors in the first inning cost the Cavaliers a run, but thankfully Kate Ediger put them back in front 2-1 on a 2-run home run. Now a good shot here. Ramsey trying to drift back on it and just can't make the play. She drops it. Definitely not the most routine trying to track that down. Ball still loose. Burkhardt gets a hold of it. And Goring will find herself at second.
She's trying to make an over-the-shoulder catch on a ball, and that was really tough to do.
Now batting the pitcher, number 2, Bailey Campbell.
Tying runs in scoring position with nobody out.
What would you give her there? That
I think that's a hit, and that's a really tough play. I would look for a bunt right here. Number 2 hitter.
Another thing I want to add is that Ramsey was she was kind of playing in, and then.
Well, that's because of the wind, yeah.
That is true, yeah. And then I think she just had to
go
upright jump and then had to kind of track back a little ways,
Yep.
but.
Yeah, I mean, Goring got a hold of that one too. I mean, it had to be the perfect timing, the perfect break for Ramsey, and she almost completed it.
Almost.
Quick little visit here to Conrad. Coach Brett Volkins came out. Just a quick little powwow. No need to bring the hook out yet. Nobody warming up in the Johnson County bullpen either.
What's interesting is she brought the whole team out, so I think it was we've got to get our heads on straight here.
Pitch on the way, bunt. Got under it too much, and Conrad right there to scoop it in.
I thought we'd see a bunt there.
It's not that moment, Dennis.
So why didn't you call it out then?
I did. I did.
He did. He did last at bat. I was just meaning like I don't think he was expecting one this time.
You expect one here? I wouldn't think you
No.
would. But
This is your number 3 hitter. You're not going to take the bat out of her hand.
I don't call you the best color man of Varsity Sports Live for nothing. Reading 0 for 1 on today. Choked up pretty high up on that bat as she fouls this one up and out of play. Wind continuing to surge. You hear it picked up a little bit through our crowd mic.
What's the wind looking like, weatherman Dennis?
About 17 miles an hour the last time I checked. It certainly hasn't abated. You can see by the trees in the, out in the outfield that it's blowing in pretty hard.
Hard line. Over
Nice
to
job by
second.
Izzy.
And well played by Izzy. Carter with the stop hands. Tosses over to Edgar in time. For out number 2, it's going to take a hit to bring in O-Ring, who's over now at third base.
That ball took a tough hop and it almost handcuffed her, but she did a nice job. That's called soft hands.
Added Jenna Hendricks in a cleanup spot. Second on the team in RBIs with 31, just behind Bailey Campbell's 38.
Yeah, that had to hurt a little bit.
Gonna take a little bit extra time trying to walk that one off.
If it was off her knee or off her foot.
I think it was off her side.
Really? Would it bounce up and hit her?
Yeah. I think it came up and hit her right in the side.
Taking a talk with the coach, saying I'm fine, just give me a little bit extra time. Now it looks like she's going to be ready to step back in there, face Conrad. 2-1 count. Runner over at third for Allen. It's a potential tying run.
Don't be careful with this hitter. She's the cleanup. You don't want to give her anything right down the middle.
Trying to work her outside, trying to get her to chase, but can't do it. 3-1.
She's more of a selective hitter here, but she's showing that if it's right in her wheelhouse, she'll be aggressive.
Yeah.
That was foul tipped. Didn't mean to do it.
Good job on the sound, just picking up the sound of the ball grazing off the aluminum bat into the catcher's mitt.
Looks like she'll show slap bunt here.
3-2 count, showing it, now pulls back. Conrad delivers.
High inside, yeah.
Yeah. Now we're here at breaking pitch. And
Oh, man.
Conrad thought she wanted that pitch.
Johnson County,
they
their
were all-
infield was celebrating too.
Yeah, they were all headed to the dugout.
They've not really given the outside corner all too often there.
Next one, and it gets away. Keeping the inning alive for the Red Devils. Runners at the corners with 2 outs. Havenstein stepping back in, reached with a walk. Her first appearance. Oh, and what a pivotal point it's going to be if she can come through with a hit and plate that tying run across for the Red Devils. We'll look back on that call from Conrad that was about as borderline as you can get.
You want to bear down and get this hitter if you can. You're Conrad.
One on the way.
Oh.
Another one just gets a piece. Foul ball.
Looks like she meant to check swing, but happened to stick it out enough to where made some contact there. Now she's really got to be careful.
Next one low and away. Does not chase. 2 balls, 1 strike to Havenstein.
Conrad having a little difficulty falling behind hitters here.
Now
Pinkerton will
have
call
another-
time.
Yep, quick time.
I think in a corner situation, not wanting to have Allen get another run here. I think Pinkerton wants to talk over some strategy on how to approach this at bat so they can just get out of the inning and not have any worries.
As we've talked about many times, there's no defense against the walk.
Next pitch for Comrade out of the meeting is swung on and out into the outfield. Burkhart charging in and able to bring it in as well, calling off Morris. Both of them were close to it. Taryn brings it in, and the Cavaliers hold on to their 1-run lead after 3 innings. Morris, Edgar, Gardenhire, due up here, top of the 4th inning. Dylan Funk alongside Brendan Bolin, Dennis Drennan, another inning of work for Bailey Campbell. Just made her pitching debut yesterday on the season in that game against Cowley.
Wow.
Game, the Red Devils facing a little bit of shortage of pitchers, so having to shuffle their lineup around a little bit. And you got to take your RBI leader in Campbell, who's traditionally on the roster's list as an infielder. Had some pitching experience back in high school, and now they've thrown her to the fray here. She's been producing so far, and outside of the 2-run home run she's given up here in this game to Kate Edgar, has held the Cavalier bats intact so far.
Just went way into inside with that one. I think you like your chances if Morris gets on here with Edgar coming up. And on cue, she's on with a walk.
Now batting the first baseman, number 15, Kate Edgar.
Now we'll have the stoppage here and maybe bring the clipboard out as well. Again, now doesn't look like a pitching change is imminent right now. I think they're still going to be sticking with Campbell. Coach Jackson still keeping an eye out. They do have an arm warming up and getting ready. So I believe that's number 5. That's Cameron Yardley. So we'll see. Maybe the afternoon is not going to be for much longer for Campbell, which, again, not the everyday starter pitcher and hasn't been this whole entire season, so wouldn't expect her to leave her out there for that long. Maybe just eat up enough innings to allow them to try to bring in one of their more seasoned pitchers that they've had multiple appearances this season. She'll come set, ready to deliver to Edgar. looking not to put anything over the heart of the plate, give her a chance to try to send it over the wall for the second at-bat in a row.
I like Allen's approach here. Like you said, just eat up enough innings to the point where she can kind of keep Allen within striking distance of Johnson County. But Campbell's done just fine against this Cavaliers squad.
Yeah, really, I mean, for somebody that with the minimal experience, and by minimal, I mean as in yesterday, of you're making first time getting in the circle, and you face a tough Cali team, and then you're coming in here and you're facing a tough offense at Johnson County, as Edgar now has a 2 for 2 day, solid single out into left.
Now, nobody out here. Let's see what Coach, see if she puts anything on here for Deja. Taking a long look.
And as action continues to ramp up in the bullpen, as I imagine Cameron Yardley will be coming into this game sooner rather than later. That's the most innings pitched to this team, 164 1/3. Compared to only just the 2 1/3 that Campbell had coming into this game.
Deja not showing any sign of a bunt there. Let's see what we have on this pitch.
0 for 1, had a solid fly out to center her last time up. Couple of ducks on the pond first, see what she can do to try to move him over. Takes a strike there.
Like Coach is going to let her swing away.
And I like this. You have all 3 outs to work with, so I don't think coughing up one, because if Gardenhire can get a hold of it like she did last at bat, it can move the runners 60 feet.
An off-speed pitch catches the inside part of the plate. Now Deja's got to protect.
Gardenhire does have 6 RBIs on the season, 6 doubles as well. 17 total hits. 1-2 pitch, way outside, spits on it for ball 2. Protecting at the 2-strike count.
That one got over the netting.
Spoiled a good pitch there.
Our 2-2. Gardenhire puts us in play. Great snag
Nice
by
play.
the shortstop, going over to third in time. Tip of the cat to go ring out there. Could not have played that any better.
No. Threw that ball from her knees, too. That ball was well hit into the hole.
The catcher, number 9, Ryan Pinkerton.
That possibly saved him a run, depending on what Bracken Vulcans was thinking.
For sure. So Edgar will move up to second. Gardenhire at first in the fielder's choice. Pinkerton pulled hard, but foul.
That was a hot shot.
Turned on that inside pitch.
Coach Brad Vulcans just kind of nonchalantly just got out of the way of it.
It's not the first shot's come her way.
Yeah. About 12 seasons with Johnson County.
There it is.
Solid hit out into center and bobbled out there. That's going to plate 1 run for the Cavaliers as Edgar will come in. Gardenhire slides into third safely. And a 1-out RBI double for Ryan Pinkerton.
Big hit for Ryan right there.
And after that initial knock right on the line there, she was thinking that she had to get one of those there, and Cable really delivered one right in her wheelhouse, and she delivers for the Cavs.
It was just slightly bobbled out in center by Gerberding. I don't think that really was going to make up much of a difference. Was able to collect quickly enough to make it a closer play over at third, but now the Cavaliers lead 3-1. Race to Ramsey in the 9-hole. Will come up, reach with a walk in her first appearance.
She's a very patient hitter.
Yeah, she uses that slap style of hitting. Right up the middle.
Just skimming over the top of second base, and that is going to score 2 for the Cavaliers, and Ramsey will scoot her way up to second base.
Good base running there by Ramsey.
Heads up, watching the throw coming in. They tried to cut it off, couldn't get it in time. Allows her to move up another 60 feet. And the Cavaliers are cooking here in the top of the 4th inning, and that is going to do it for Bailey Campbell. As the call to the bullpen, it's going to be Yardley that will come in and take over, trying to salvage this inning for the Red Devils. Cavaliers on top 5-1. We'll step aside. Shuffling around here, Cameron Yardley comes in, and Bailey Campbell will just move over to second base. Cavaliers in the middle of a 3-run top half of the 4th inning, looking to add on as we go back to the top of the order with Taryn Burkhardt. Solid contact, that goes foul.
Although Campbell didn't have much pitching experience coming into this tournament, she's had quite a lot of fielding experience into this tournament.
Now in her more traditional, more usual position that she's played this entire season, just kind of a utility player in the infield, particularly up the middle at short and second. Next pitch on the way to Burkhardt, just above the letters for another ball.
I could see that she really wanted to swing at that, but nice job by her to take it. It was just a bit too high.
Solid cut, but a swing and a miss. And the first strikeout collected for the Red Devils on the very first batter that Yardley faces.
And she's got some velo there, Dennis. I don't know if you see that.
No question.
Away from ball 1 to Izzy Carter, 0 for 2, pair of ground outs so far on the day.
She's not wasting any time on the rubber. It's really forcing Johnson County to be attentive.
Yeah, she's getting the ball and throwing it.
She does take a bit of time to look down at her band, but mostly it's just one quick look. All right, it's time to fire.
Almost over the heart of the plate for a strike.
Good call to take that last pitch there. Now it's time to battle.
Tries to put down a bunt on the 3-1 pitch, but it goes foul, working the count full. Ramsey still over at second base for the Cavaliers. Burkhardt with the strikeout for out number 2. Now Izzy Carter looking to keep the rally going.
Yeah, she was bunting for a hit there with 2 outs.
Three 2 pitch.
Now into the box for the Cavaliers, number 5, Jaylee Jefferson.
Dangerous hitter now.
We've talked a lot, Dennis, you and I, this season about the importance, or maybe the way that these walks, how they can draw out innings and they can really cause trouble for your team. And now you're thinking here, if with Jaylee coming to the dish, so far working on an 0 for 2 day. She's had a hot tournament so far in the 2 games coming into today. And she can come up with a big hit here for the Cavaliers. This can really bust this game wide open, taking it from a 4-run lead to potentially more.
Maybe we said the same thing about Ediger. She really hasn't found her groove in this tournament. And then finally hit a 2-run home run earlier. Has a 2 for 2 day so far. Jefferson, I feel like now would be the time to really cause some damage here. And especially in a more dangerous scenario for both these teams.
Yeah, she's a good RBI bat, so. Oh, wow.
2 balls, 2 strikes.
She puts that same pitch there. Jaylee's going to have to go to the right side of the field with that. There's no way she's pulling that ball.
Takes upstairs, and now another full count, 3-2.
Really trying to work her outside.
There we go, Cameron!
Yeah, we've seen quite a few home runs going over the right field fence with this young lady.
And with the runners going, she can just make contact here. Barely does, just gets a piece of it.
Good pitch, Cam, good pitch!
Trying to keep the rally going. Jefferson, another 3-2 pitch. She swings and misses at it. So Yardley comes on in relief, collects 2 strikeouts, but again, damage already done. Cavaliers play 3 more in the top of the 4th inning, extend their lead to 4 runs. Bottom half of the 4th inning, Dylan Funk, Brendan Bolin, and Dennis Drennan here with you. Day 2 coverage of the NJCAA Region 6 Division II softball tournament, the Lake Shawnee Sports Complex. Solid
Well
contact from Yardley out in center, and
nicely
just
played.
right at the warning track, just a few feet shy of the wall. She gets a little more underneath it, or maybe if this strong wind from dead center is not blowing in, that's a Yardley goes yard.
Yeah, the wind did not help that at all. That's a crosswind in center field.
Now up for the Red Devils, the catcher number 30, Ashley Tribble.
Oh, it looks like we have a delay here. I think the umpire's just going through his book real quick. I think he wanted to get that change in the lineup there, or defensively, from the Red Devils.
So we had mentioned with Yardley starting the game as the DP and Campbell as the pitcher. They put Campbell out, Yardley in as the pitcher now. Campbell's over at second. There's definitely going to be some shaking up in this lineup. Just off the end of the bat, high fly ball. Taryn squeezes this one into the glove, learning her mistake from the top of the 1st inning. Quickly, 2 gone for the Red Devils in the 4th.
And only 2 pitches as well.
There we go, Pags, give us something!
Now batting offensive player number 15, Paxton Meyer.
Meyer still sticks in the game, just moved from the offensive player.
Softball's a little different.
Yeah. 0 for 1. Got some great gentlemen up here getting everything squared away, explaining everything. 0 for 1 on the day for Meyer so far with the strikeout back in the second inning.
I mean, they're similar, softball and baseball similar in most aspects, but there's a lot of logistical things that make it completely different and more entertaining.
Yeah, similar and yet so different. As this one's popped up right side. Ediger calling for it, gets called off by Carter. Had a beat on it and brings it in. And just about a handful of pitches is all Conrad needs. After 4, your score, Cavaliers 5, Red Devils 1. Welcome back. Top of the 5th inning here. Aspen Burker will lead it off. Her 3rd at bat in the game. Eve Morris and Kate Ediger. And it's about the middle part of the order. Oh, so dangerous and powerful for Johnson County. Looking to hold on to this 5-1 lead and punch their ticket to go to the consolation semifinals, where we'll have a matchup later on this early evening. First game pitched around 8 or 6 o'clock. Crosstown rivals Kansas City, Kansas. As number 1 seed Cavaliers tried to work their way back to the front side.
Oh, wow.
Great snag out there in right field on a line. Had a hard time reading it initially, it looked like, but good recovery to bring it in. Good play by Smith.
She got a good jump on that, too. She was kind of playing more back. Had a good jump there, just caught it over the shoulder, and a nice snag there to get it a quick out for the Devils there.
Yeah, I think that wind kept that from going over her head.
And even still, it barely, just almost did. Next pitch to Morris, slow it away for a ball.
Well, if the Cavaliers want to keep advancing here, they're going to have to beat back-to-back Devils.
Trying to take care of red to move on to face blue. You're right.
Two very great colors.
3-1 now. Yeah, the one the most confused that, or wasn't necessarily confusing, it was trouble on the eyes. It was when you're coming to Johnson County and Kansas City, Kansas basketball game, and they're the Blue Devils, but they were on the road and they were wearing red uniforms. They always had to be careful because I had the Red Devils in the back of my mind from the red uniforms, but they're the Blue Devils.
I think blue and red just go simply perfect together. KCK makes it pop really well.
3-2 pitch. Moore swings at it into the outfield. Center fielder in on it and brings it in for out number 2. Feels like with every fly ball today, you just kind of hold your breath a little bit and make
It's an
sure
adventure.
see what's going to happen.
Now batting, number 15, Kate Ediger.
Not the strongest winds that we've seen on the broadcast this year. I know we've called a couple of some baseball games that we've seen gusts that get up to 30-plus miles per hour.
Absolutely.
Take a center fielder's hat and move it all the way to right field. This one solidly hit by Ediger. That's a wall. That one gets over. Little bit of a wall scraper. And for the spectator in the lawn chair, he's got himself a nice little souvenir, and Ediger has herself her second home run of the game.
Now, we talked about that was one of the keys to the game, is getting Ediger's bat going. I'd say she's done that.
Take a 3-for-3 day, 2 home runs and a single,
Yeah.
and has scored 3 runs.
And a 2-out home run, too, even more just gut-wrenching for Allen.
Multi-home run game for Kate Ediger. Kind of seeing that home run total on the season. That's going to be bumped up down to 15.
And I'm telling you what, fellas, that wind did not help that ball at all. It was hindering it. So she really barreled it up.
I thought that initially it was going to be a chance for a play to be made right in the warning track or possibly at the wall, but I mean, just a couple of feet over. And it scrapes over. Without the wind, it's probably more of a no-doubter.
Yep, no question.
But for Kate, you're going to take it. You got your team up comfortably. Another insurance run added. 6-1 lead over Allen. Red Devils on the brink of elimination. Yardley trying to wrap up this inning, going facing against Deja Gardenhire. First time Yardley and Gardenhire have faced each other here in this game. Righty versus righty. Next one delivered inside off the plate. 2-1 count.
Looked like the pitch almost cut away from her going inside. It looked like it was about to hit her and then spun inside there.
Equipment malfunction.
Like I said, it's always the catchers. They got the most equipment on out there out of anybody. Way outside the home plate umpire, but
The leg guards are always a pain.
still in a 2-1 count. Gardenhire waiting the next pitch from Yardley. Solid out into the outfielder. Center fielder charging in. And brings it in, but the Cavaliers have one more. Second home run of the game for Kate Ediger, number 15 on the season, makes it a 6-1 Cavalier lead. Rock Chalk through and through. Bottom of the 5th inning now up here. 6-1 Cavalier lead. Bottom of the order due up for Smith, Goring, and Campbell. 0-for-1 day for Smith. A ground out to second. Dylan Funk, Brendan Bowen, Dennis Drennan having a great time here at the Lake Shawnee Sports Complex in Topeka, Kansas. Tries to put down a bunt there. Does not connect. 0-1.
And Brendan Bolin, the only one who is not rock chalk through and through on this team.
Well, people can be wrong. It's okay. Oh, well, coming inside. Had some late movement to it, but off the plate.
That was a pretty funky pitch there.
Yeah, you don't want to give a free pass here to the bottom half of the order.
Well, that one just high and away, 2-1. Cavs at one point were down 1-0 in this game, and now have scored 6 unanswered.
Oh,
It
man.
goes over the press box and out of play. Retrievers running after it. That was just a little bit lower. Might have had a chance to fly into the window here. But hate to have a John Sterling moment, the New York Yankees. Where first of all, does anyone know who John Sterling is on this broadcast?
Of course I do.
Wise play by Pinkerton letting that go.
Yankees broadcast legend.
It was a time where he had an open press box and a foul ball was up and away, and he thought it was going up into the stands or whatever. It actually bounced right into his press box. Actually, ricocheted, got him on the head a little bit.
That was a Justin Turner foul ball.
And that right there is a strikeout. Another one on a day for Conrad's really settled into a groove after giving up that one unearned run back in the first inning.
Justin Turner's got a nickname, quite a fun nickname they call him. When he was on the Dodgers, they called him Pop-Tart because he had a lot of pop on his bat.
So I wasn't quite sure where that was going, but anyways. Back to the top of the order, third time through for the Red Devils. Goring, the shortstop, made a beautiful play in the field earlier in this game. She was able to reach on that hit out towards right field. Play was almost made by Ramsey. This is going to be a great play made by Carter, just not going to be in time. Couldn't slow down the momentum enough. That was taking her back over the middle of the field.
Yeah, she did everything she could do with that. That's just an infield hit.
Yep.
Now batting the second baseman,
Say she gets the backhand on it, plants the foot right away, and is able to get a throw over, and maybe, but better than the alternative. If that one is to get away from Ediger, and you allow Goring to advance up another 60 feet on the throwing error. Oh, back down the line to first. We'll run her back safely.
If that play did happen, I think may need to send it to TSBN, put it on SportsCenter Top 10.
No doubt about it. Runner going away from the, going across her body, that's a tough play.
Slow roller, and called
Foul
foul.
ball.
Guard still playing it out, throwing over to Ediger. She never knows what they traditionally teach the infielders. Don't try to guess or wait for the umpire to tell you fair or foul. We actually saw that in the game earlier where it was a pretty close call and Burkhart fielded it, thought it was a foul ball, and it was called fair.
Yep.
So always better just to play the play out, finish it.
That's fundamentals.
Solid right at Jaylee, over to second for one. Back over to first, and not going to be in time.
Didn't get my 6-4-3, but almost.
You and your love for the 6-4-3 double play, it needs to be studied.
Hey, being an old shortstop, you just love it.
Gerberdine back in for the Red Devils. First pitch from Conrad, just inside, digging for ball one. 0 for 2, a pair of ground outs for Gerberdine. You got Hendricks on deck. Another excuse me swing that just gets a piece of the bat.
I think I got a part of her foot there, too.
One pitch on the way. Upstairs, throw down the line, but back in safely. Got the oven mitts in. Another check swing. That rolled fair.
Yeah.
And just like what we were talking about, Burkhart playing through, finishing the play that time to effect for the third and final out. 5 innings in the books. Cavaliers with a 5-run lead. 2 more innings to go in this game, at least in the regulation innings. Winner will move on to take on the KJCCC Blue Devils in the consolation semifinals. Right now, that would be Johnson County. The number 1 seed dropping the second game yesterday to Fort Scott 9-6. Have their backs against the wall. If they lose another one, they'll be out of the tournament, trying to battle their way back to the championship game. And we'll find out at least one team who's going to punch their ticket to that championship game. That will be coming up next between Fort Scott and Neosho. The Panthers and the Greyhounds will be coming up about 25-30 minutes after the conclusion of this game here between the Red Devils and the Cavaliers. And then we'll wrap it up our nightcap with the winner of this game and Kansas City, Kansas.
Fun day for some softball. How about it, Dennis?
Oh, no question about it. It's a beautiful day.
Ooh.
Next swing, went around, says home plate umpire. That's it? Yep. And the back to the dugout. Chance breaking out. I love it.
Now batting number 6, Gracie Ramsey.
Always it's been so fun covering softball through this 2024 season. Through Johnson County and then the conference. I always love just hearing the different chants that the dugouts can come up with during the games. This one's brought in out in left. And Ramsey is retired, 2 up, 2 down for the Cavaliers.
I was going to say that was my favorite part of softball, too.
This way, some of them, obviously, they're pre-planned and rehearsed and stick with them through the year, but also some of them they can just kind of come up with on the spot, and they really make the game entertaining. It's both teams filled with a bunch of energy, have fun playing the game. Look,
They're wearing that concession stand out today.
they really are. Group of Fort Scott folks and players standing under the shade, dodging a bullet. 4th time through for Johnson County and Taryn Burkert. Struck out her last at bat back in the 4th. Solid contact here out towards left. Got a bad read on it. That's going to go all the way to the wall. And Taryn with her speed, will see if they'll hold her up, and they will. As Coach Brandon Volkins puts up the stop sign, but a 2-out double to keep the inning alive, and a little bit of a groovy shimmy at second base.
I think they planned that before the game.
Coming off of that left-hand bat, that ball is slicing and even being pushed by the wind. That's a tough play for the left fielder.
Now 2 for 4 on today is Taryn. Potentially 7th run in scoring position for the Cavaliers with the first pitch strike fired into Izzy Carter. 0 for 2, still had those pair of ground outs. Did reach on a walk in the 4th. Was left stranded at first base.
I was going to mention something, Dylan. Outside of Johnson County being good at pitching and fielding, they have really great chemistry.
Young group, 10 sophomores that they have. So this one's put into play and charging in and bringing it in for the 3rd and final out. We can talk a little bit more about that team chemistry on the other side. Still a 6-1 ball game. Bottom 6 coming up next. That's exactly what she's trying to do, Jenna Hendricks, trying to get something started here for the Red Devils. They've seen the Cavaliers score 6 unanswered and are down 5, down to their final 6 outs. And Hendricks swings at the first pitch she sees and skies it out into center. Morris calling everybody off him, brings it in. 1 pitch, 1 out.
Cavs have just been tough as nails today. You have to give Conrad credit. She's really been pretty solid on the mound today.
She has. She's done a very good job. A little bit of a slow start in the first, but a couple of errors didn't help her any at all. That only run she's given up was unearned.
A freshman from Mexico, Kansas.
Just go west and you'll find it.
I feel like there's a lot of those towns you can say here in the great state of Kansas. Hopefully going to be one of the key returners coming back next season for her sophomore year under Coach Brett Volkins and Coach Jackson, Coach Williams. She's going to expect it kind of like what Maggie McNally's expectations were coming into this season after having a great freshman campaign. Kayla Conrad's expected probably to have the same if she sticks around. This one pulled high and foul. And straighten that one up. That's definitely got home run distance on it. Just can't keep it straight.
It's parking lot bound. But you have to give Allen credit there. They really took advantage early. They just haven't found their groove in the late innings. I think that needs to come alive here sooner rather than later.
Yeah, they're running out of outs.
Well, that's why in the other games for Johnson County is that they were able to let their opponents get the momentum going and keep it past, when the third inning, the fourth inning, and slow starts for the Cavs. You felt that confidence start to grow for Highland and even for Fort Scott and for the Greyhounds. Eventually were able to hold them off and win that game. And in this one, that 2-run home run after seeing 1 run come across for the Red Devils in the first, that 2-run shot from Kate Edgar in the top of the second. I mean, I think that was really huge to put the Cavs back in front. You eliminate any chance of the momentum pendulum swinging and staying over to the side of Allen. And it's been Cavaliers in pretty firm control ever since.
I think the one thing that Highland did is that I wish they didn't is I felt they felt way too comfortable and they felt way too high riding on, oh, we're going to get an upset here. And Johnson County started to come back, but in this game I feel Johnson County, they're still playing competitive, saying we made a few mistakes early. That's not who defines us, but we got to keep going here. We can't settle for anything less because momentum can swing at any time.
New curbside delivery of a new catcher's mask for Pinkerton. Next pitch on the way, and it's upstairs for ball 4. Havenstein will move up to first base now.
Now batting the pitcher, Cameron Yardley.
Yardley can try to help herself out just a little bit here, maybe trying to just collect a hit, again, spark some kind of momentum for the Red Devils. Yardley 0 for 2 at the dish today, a ground out and a fly out. Pitch on the way from Conrad, and that's a solid ground ball out into left. So now a walk and a single for Allen. A little building blocks here, trying to get something going. Allen now put the bat in the hand.
Oh, they're calling her out.
Oh.
She left early.
Huh. So, did you get a good read on what they called down there, partner?
I did not.
On the stands?
I did not. Unless she missed first base and Johnson County appealed.
So now bases are empty.
Base running error there.
2 outs. Yeah, it's
By Allen. And I think that's what it was, guys. She missed first base, and Kate Edgar was heads up there and brought it to the attention of the umpire and asked about it. And he can't make that call unless he's asked.
so It's potentially saying that she missed the bag at first.
She missed first base.
That was a filthy, absolutely filthy pitch from Conrad.
Yeah, we'll try to get some clarification on that, get that figured out. But right now, an 0-2 count, foul tip, straight back into the net.
Got some great people here helping us out for sure.
I think it's still Yardley up here. I think it might be towards Havenstein, and maybe if she did leave early. We'll have to wait and see. I know we're going to have an official call coming up here in just a few moments. We'll be able to update everyone.
I think there's our official coming up.
Yeah, she must have left early. That's the only thing it could be.
Yep. Yes, that's it. So Havenstein, after getting on with the walk, left early on the bag. That's the official ruling, so she is called out. A little special note I've never made before in my scorebook. And this one inside near the hands on Yardley. And working to count full, 3 balls, 2 strike. Conrad trying to wrap it up the bottom of the 6th. A little flare. Ediger calling everyone off and brings it in. A little bit of chaos towards the end of the 6th, and it stays a 6-1 Cavalier lead. 7th and final inning coming up next. Seventh and final inning, just getting started here. Johnson County looking to add on maybe a couple of insurance runs, holding on to a 5-run lead where things currently stand right now, and there will be 3 outs away when we go to the bottom half of moving on to the consolation semifinals and take on the crosstown rivals Kansas City, Kansas Blue Devils. As Jaylee Jefferson's back in the box for the Cavs, swings at the first pitch she sees and fouls that one up and over the net. Could potentially be heading to Lake Shawnee. I have noticed that there are a couple of extra windows, and I've seen some of these softballs. If they get onto the parking lot, they can roll, and the lake is right there. So it wouldn't surprise me if there's some potential softballs in the water.
Man,
she just beat it out.
And that's just a good hustle play.
Yep. You have to give her an infield hit there.
For the Cavaliers, number 26.
Good hustle up the line for Jaylee. It's her first hit in this game. Breaks it 0 for 3 skid. Now brings in Aspen Burgart. 1 for 3, a single back in the second. Has had back-to-back flyouts to center and to right. As she takes a first pitch strike from Yardley. Solid right at the center fielder.
Oh, almost got over her head.
We have seen a couple of those already today. Just solid liners hit right on the screws for Aspen, but just
right at him.
Yeah, barely more assisting Gerberdam bringing in that out. Barely had to make her work for it. One gone now to Eve Morris. Speaking of center fielders, goes the Cavaliers.
solid game from her today.
Looking like she was starting to put that shoulder injury completely behind her. She suffered within the final couple weeks of the regular season. This one taken by the short,
Double
on
play.
to second for one, and the first for the double play, unassisted, 6-3 to wrap it up here in the top of the 7th. Red Devils in need of a rally as they look to come back from 5 down on the Cavaliers.
Devils, number 30, Ashley Tribble.
Bottom half of the order coming up for the Red Devils, Tribble, Meyer, and Smith. As Allen looking for a little bit of a miracle, looking for some bottom of the 7th magic, trying to keep this game going, maybe potentially walk-off fashion. Like I said, we've seen a lot of crazy things and stranger things have happened, especially in this sport. The backs are against the wall, on the brink of elimination, and a first pitch foul off from Kaylin Conrad, looking to go the distance for the Cavaliers.
If you're Conrad, you want to get these outs at the bottom of the part of the order. You don't want to give them any free passes and get back to the top and give Allen some hope.
Low and away corner gets it. 4 strike 2. Had a little bit of a shoulder shrug or hand shrug there from Conrad as well.
0-2.
Looking for a 3-pitch strikeout. She delivers. Can't get her to chase low and away. Ball 1.
I think she wanted that same spot there, but it just kind of slipped out of her hand.
Next pitch on the way. Pulled and foul ball.
That ball was smoked.
Yes.
Thing had some power behind it.
This one straight up in the air. Conrad trying to direct that to Pinkerton, and it lands. That sounds like it's over by you, partner, is it not? Nope, it's over here on the left side. There we go. Fan got a nice little souvenir. Glad to hear everything's okay down there with you.
Has to be chased right back here in just a few seconds.
Lead already, she knows the drill. She's going down, going to deliver it back. And there's the big swing and a miss there. Undoubtedly on ball 3, and Tribble is sent back to the dugout. Now the Cavaliers are 2 outs away.
That's what you want if you're the Cavaliers there. Get that leadoff hitter out of the way.
Looks like we got a pinch hitter.
22.
Yep. Maybe 22. It's like Kaylin Michaelis.
Now batting for the Allen Red Devils, number 22, Kaylin Michaelis.
And a freshman for the Red Devils. No pressure stepping into a big spot like this. Just her 25th at bat of the season, a .333 average. 8 hits, 1 double, and has 3 RBIs collected. Just looking to get on here, get a base runner for the Red Devils. Swings at it, out into center. Morris hunts it down, and now the Cavs 1 out away.
I think they're just trying to get someone who's been on base several times this season to try and just put a bit of pressure on the Cavs to
For the Red Devils, Number 4.
Really work for this win there, but Conrad a beautiful at-bat there to put the Cavs within 1.
Now, Kyler Smith, the 9-hole hitter, the final hope for Allen. First pitch swinging, that gets up and over the net, foul back our way. Working on an 0 for 2 day, ground out and a strikeout.
Shout out to Conrad here, man. She's on the verge of pitching a complete game. 1 run, which was unearned. Can't ask for more than that.
The 0-2 was put in play. Conrad backhands, under toss in time, and the Cavaliers win the game that they needed to, and they will face the Kansas City, Kansas Blue Devils in this game later on tonight. First pitch scheduled for a 6 p.m. start. And the Cavs come out and blank the Red Devils. Will now go on to face the Blue Devils.
1 devil down, 1 to go.
Good game for Johnson County. 1 run, 3 hits, no errors, 4 left on base for Allen County. 6 runs, 7 hits, 2 errors, 5 left on base for Johnson County. We'll step aside. We'll have some final stats for you on the other side. Welcome back here. Game 2 has just concluded. Cavaliers pick up the win 6-1 against Allen and the Red Devils, and they move on to the consolation semifinals tonight at 6 p.m. as they'll take on crosstown rivals Kansas City, Kansas, with a chance to move on to the consolation finals on Friday afternoon. Final line for Kaylin Conrad picking up the win and going to distance. 7 innings, 3 hits, 3 walks, 2 strikeouts, 1 run. It was an unearned run. It was an error back all the way in the first inning where the Red Devils jumped out to an early 1-0 lead, and it was thanks to Goring reaching via an E7. It was a line drive over into left field that Taryn Burkhart could not squeeze in, and then there was a second error in the outfield in center by Eve Morris. A couple of batters later, that would allow Goring to come around to score. But after that, Conrad and the rest of the Cavalier defense really settled in and got into a groove. And they went the distance, took care of the job, and they sweep the Red Devils on the season. They beat them twice in the regular season, and they beat them here today, only allowing 1 run all through those 3 games, and still it was back-to-back shutouts in the regular season, 9-0 and 5-0, Dennis. So no earned runs allowed to the Red Devils in 2024, and that's a tip of the cap to Kayla Conrad and the rest of this coaching staff.
Yeah, she did a great job today. She had command of her pitches, and she worked pretty efficiently too. Her pitch count, I don't think, was very high. So she did exactly what Coach Brattons wanted her to do. Came in and got the win. And now they advance on into this backside of the bracket.
And Brendan, I'll turn over to you, our our in-house Paola Panther of Paola Sports Live, Kate Ediger, the former Paola Panther. We talked about that was one of the big keys coming into this game, is that they needed to find a way to get her going. She needed to find a way to get the bat hot. How about a 3-for-3 day with a single and 2 home runs, a two-run home run and then a solo home run? That's going to be a big boost and a big vote of confidence in Kate going into this big consolation semifinal game later this evening.
And she was definitely frustrated coming into this tournament, not having, matching the season that she has had for this Cavaliers squad. And then she really stepped up to the plate today and took charge whenever Johnson County really needed a boost after letting up an unfair run in that first inning there. And then has been so dominant at the plate for this Johnson County squad.
No doubt about it. Came through in the clutch when they needed her the most. That is Kate Ediger. So that's going to do us for us here. 2 down, 2 to go here on the Johnson County Community College Athletics YouTube page. Our continuing coverage, day 2 of the NJCAA Region 6 Division II softball tournament from the Lake Shawnee Sports Complex in Topeka, Kansas. Coming up next, we go to the winner's side of the bracket, and a ticket will be punched to the finals. Is it going to be the Greyhounds of Fort Scott, or is it going to be the Panthers of Neosho County? You do not want to miss this one.